Vernon's Jazz Club is the site of a resurrection this Saturday night, and we are so pleased to welcome vocalist Michael Herndon and, of course, our very good friend, Vernon's artistic director and also jazz vocalist, Tommy Gearhart, and they are both here this morning. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good morning.
It is so nice to have you, as always, and it's such a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well.
I'm so happy that you're here, and there's so much to talk about. Let me first ask you to explain, what do we mean when we say a resurrection?
You want me to?
I just want to say something because I'm very excited to have him on the show today. I mean, and especially he's going to perform this weekend. But it was just over a year ago that a good friend of mine, him and I, we walked into Presbyterian Hospital because we heard another friend in the musical community wasn't doing so well, and that's very much an understatement. I walked into the room and when you start talking to this guy, you see that he's full of life.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll say, looking at him right there, he wasn't. And it was one of the most frightening experiences I've ever had.
Well, from what I understand, you were actually administered your last rites. It was that serious.
I found out about all this after the fact, which is probably a good thing.
Yes, yes.
I just woke up, realized I wasn't where I remember being.
Oh, wow.
And that was a week later.
Oh, my goodness.
I had what is called an aortic dissection.
Okay.
Actually, I had 2 holes in my aorta, and one is usually fatal. So God must truly love me and have a purpose for me, because my survivability was 1 in 100.
1 in 100.
1 in 100.
Wow.
And to complicate things, while they were attempting to save me, my left vocal cords were left paralyzed.
And for a singer.
Oh, you might as well have just taken me out.
Of course, of course.
So it was all an interesting journey of faith and understanding and knowing who, at the end of the day, you really are, because it's been taken from you.
Absolutely.
And I'm really fortunate that I belong to an incredible band family, Fat City Yo.
Woohoo!
Okay, got to give a shout out to my fam, but they were very supportive. I'm one of 4 singers in that band.
Oh, wow.
And to say that they nurtured me is the complete understatement of the year.
I bet. I bet. Well, like you said, God was watching over you, and the thing that's so amazing is that sometimes the worst things can happen in the world, the things, like you said, 1 in 100 chances, but sometimes it's true when people say it's about the people that support you, it's about your own faith, and sometimes it really does pull you through anything.
It made all the difference, absolutely.
Well, and you're a singer, so let's get to that, because that's so important. I mean, you have gone through what you've gone through, and now you're singing again. So tell us a little bit about how you've made this journey.
First, I required surgery to reconnect the vocal cords to a vital living area.
Wow.
And that was just the initial. An amazing, amazing therapist named Kristen Laree basically gave me my life back.
Aww.
She did more in the first 3 minutes of our working together than I could do myself in the first 3 months. And I'm being really literal. It took about 3 minutes for her to reconnect me.
Unbelievable.
Then over a period of months, she brought me back, and the rest was letting the body heal.
And it did heal. And your jazz career, I mean, I really want people to understand a little bit about your history. I mean, you certainly do have quite the history in jazz, and you've worked with some of the greatest people.
I've been blessed to do so. Worked with members of Earth, Wind & Fire, Coco Taylor. I mean, we talked about
I love Earth, Wind & Fire.
The best group ever. Okay, but not that I'm prejudiced at all.
I love them.
But, you know, it was really a lot of blessings.
Yes.
And then here, working with some really great people.
Tommy.
I don't know about that, but
you look what you have on this couch next to you. This is the man. I mean, you get to work with him. It's amazing.
yeah, he's an old school entertainer too, though. I mean, there's a lot of people that are out there that are really good singers, which he obviously is. But he's one of those guys that come out and give it his all when he's on stage. I mean, before I saw him at Presbyterian Hospital, you know, the last time I'd seen him perform live was at the New Mexico Jazz Workshop concert outdoors at the Art Museum, and he was singing. I mean, costume changes. I mean, you just don't see that anymore. This guy, the true pro, the true entertainer, the true talent.
And that's the longevity too, because there's so much more than just a voice.
Oh, the preparation alone.
Oh, for sure.
You know, one of the things I was taught was that you never, ever take your audience for granted, which means you always come with 300% prepared.
Good lesson for every artist out there.
That's right.
Really a good lesson.
This is a blessing. I mean, you're not doing anybody a favor by doing this. The favor is being done to you by allowing you to express yourself, show your God-given ability, and touch someone. And this is the part we really need to focus on, the effect that we have on our listeners.
I think that's the truth of every artist is when you move somebody, when you make them feel something because of what you're doing.
If you haven't done that, you haven't done your job.
I agree, 100%. I absolutely agree. I want to see you sing. I want to come see you sing. Well, you know, I want to ask you this because you talk about becoming a vocal instrument,
yes,
right? And I want to talk about how you do that because what does that mean to people who are non-singers, who don't understand that?
The best way I could put it is take yourself out of the equation. You are merely the soloist of the moment. You know, like any other musical ensemble, if you have a saxophone playing, a guitar playing, whatever it is, at that time, they are the solo. And as a singer, that's all you really are.
Right.
So you take your ego out of it, take yourself out of it, and become part of the music.
Do we get a little riff? I'm just going nuts here. I have to hear that voice. A little riff, just a little, maybe.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's New Mexico style.
Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, if we had an audience, we would have a huge round of applause just there. I have the chills. I want more of that. I want more of that. And here is what you can expect this week at Vernon's. Friday night, the Maz Meets Broadway series with Chris Page at 8:30. Did I say the Maz?
Yeah.
To say the Maz. Then on Saturday, I'm too thrown back by that voice. Then Saturday, Michael will take the stage with Catherine McGill's band with the Jazz Has the Blues series, and that will begin at 8:30. Of course, if you don't know, Vernon's is located at 6855 4th Street in Los Ranchos de Albuquerque. And then Sunday night, as always, there are two dinner shows, one at 5, the other at 7:30, and that is with our good friend Tommy Gerhardt and the Tommy Gerhardt Ensemble.
Yes, ma'am.
And here's how you can log on to find out whatever you want to know about Vernon's Jazz Club and Vernon's Hidden Valley Steakhouse. Gentlemen, thank you so much for making my morning so happy.
Thank you very much.
It was our pleasure, and God bless you. I'm so happy you're back. Can't wait to see you take the stage again. Very exciting.
Okay.
Now, we're going to take this act on the road. That's coming up next. No pressure. Actually, that's a lot like the fact that it is actually a lot of pressure. It's tire pressure. It's coming up next.